Yo, YouTube, we're live. We're about to go live on IG. Wish I could throw like a background on this, no? Boom. Now we're live on IG and we're live on YouTube. And we're getting active. We are talking about some money, some mindset, some magic. We got Zelly in the building. We got my mama in the building. Mom, you called me earlier and I didn't answer the phone. We are being productive with life. On YouTube Live, on IG Live. Talking growth, talking success, talking love, talking patience, talking that talk. You hear it? So yeah, what's our Monday questions? Mom, what's a Monday question? Mom, drop a Monday question in the chat that we can get into right now about the topics that we care about in life. Mom, don't leave before dropping a question. I need to see a question from you, Mom, because you're my mother. It's like you haven't done enough for my life yet, so we need more questions. How was the day? Was the day productive? Did we make some money? That's the key. I talked to my brother today. Mom, oh, we got my grandma in the building now. We got the whole squad. We got the whole fam bam. Zelly day one, mama, grandma. Yeah, and we just talking life. So I was talking to my brother today. Few of y'all know my brother. Mom, I think you birthed him. His name is Brandon. And what Brandon told me today was that the key to making money, the key to money in general is keeping more than you spend. Keeping more than you spend. We're on YouTube Live as well, so I'm kind of like multitasking. But the key to making money is keeping more than you spend. It don't matter how much you make. It don't matter how much you bring in, but it only matters how much you retain in the bank account, how much you have disposable to go spend into the world. Yeah, yeah. He definitely do know a lot about a lot. So what do we take with that information? Right? Because there's a lot of opportunities on the web. There's a lot of opportunities out there for us to make money. Mom, I'm not seeing a question. Mom, I need a question. This is now 2 minutes past with no questions. All you got to do is hit the comment button below and type your question, Mom. Any question. But yeah, so what do we do with the information? Because there's a lot of opportunities out there in the internet on making money, but not a lot of people discuss keeping money. Oh, Mom, you want to put so true, but not a question? Mom, we need a question. So we need more ways to understand the concept of keeping our money by one, keeping expenses low. You know, how many of us actually do an audit on how much money that we spend every single month? Oh, we got some viewers on YouTube. Come in the live on YouTube and like the live if you're in the live and comment. We talking about money. We talking about mindset. And we talking about magic, creating magic in our lives, right? So in order to keep more than we spend, we have to monitor the expenses. What is going out of the bank account? What is coming in the bank account? And a good rule for this that my brother also mentioned to me is that we should always have the goal of making more money than we spend that week. And that's how you always stay on top of the finances. Another way, write this down. If you're not writing this down, it's not going to be retained into the information into the school. It could go one ear out the other, but this could save you years and years of struggling and hustling and trying. And really save you that time. So rule number one is to keep more than you spend. How do we do that? We set budgets on basically always making sure that we're bringing in more money than we're giving out every single week. Another way is once we get paid, we can have 25, 50, 100, 250 dollars put into a separate bank account that is accumulating more interest than we're spending out. Because I saw some interesting financial stats over the last couple of days, and I'm gonna give you guys a few of them that probably will blow your mind on how so many people lose money every single year, and it's not based on how much you earn. Because even in high net worth situations, a lot of people that make a lot of money, but they don't keep a lot of money, right? So one of the stats I learned is that 33% of the debt that people have is coming from financial fees. These are overdraft fees. These are credit fees. These are interest fees from the credit card. So 33% of people's money that they're actually spending, their expenses, is going to fees. They're just going to the bank lending us money at a higher rate than they get it. And that's how they stay around for 100 years, right? But another interesting financial stat is that if you just put away $2,500 every single month, $2,500 every single month into the S&P 500, which compounds at 9% every single year, it grows at 9% every single year. The S&P 500, which is basically the 500 biggest companies in the world, and you invest into that fund, you invest into those businesses. Then if you do that for $2,500 every single month for the next 4 years, you'll be a millionaire in 4 years with just $2,500 a month. That absolutely blew my mind. YouTube, does that blow your mind? Let me know if you're watching on YouTube. Go ahead, comment below. But that's insane, right? So my mom asked, what is the most important thing to do in the morning before leaving the house? That's a great question. Most important thing to do, Mom, I think, before leaving the house is to be grateful. It's to be grateful for that you're alive. It's to be grateful for the day. It's to be grateful for the house that you're able to live in. It's to be grateful, that you had a bed. It's to be grateful for the good night's sleep that you had. What's up, Braden? I appreciate you tapping in, bro. We on IG live too, and we just getting it in. Yes, we are. So I think it's gratitude. Yes, right, Mom. Pray. Very, very, very key. And pray sometimes can be vague. That's why I put gratitude, Mom, because like sometimes people hear pray and they be like, well, I don't know how to pray. So one thing I think you should pray for is whatever you're thankful for. Tell God that you're thankful for the blessings. Tell God that you're thankful for the things that He's given into your life. And then I think that really sets the tone emotionally for the day. And then when you go into the day with a grateful state that you're feeling good, you're feeling powerful, you're feeling blessed, it's a lot easier to do the things necessary to get us what we want. You're gonna be more likely to talk to somebody at the gym that day. You're going to be more likely to be happy and positive when you go to the grocery store. You're going to be more likely to be happy and positive when you go and network with somebody. What up, Keandre? You're going to be more likely to be in a positive state and therefore do positive actions if we start our day with some gratitude. So I agree, Mom. Prayer and getting into a grateful, blessed, abundant state in the morning is probably the most important thing you could do before you leaving your house. That's a great question, Mom. I appreciate you. Mom, you're not obligated to be in the live, by the way. So I'm gonna definitely call you. I know we ain't I know you called earlier. Just want to get this out. Keandre, I gotta hit you back too. But yeah, just wanted to hop on live. Probably gonna go get in some extra work, and we're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock it out. These things are easier said than done. What mindset would you recommend to stay afloat and ahead of the game? That's a fact. That's a fact. Good question, Zelly. So these things are easier said than done, 100%. I think the first thing we got to do is not take ourselves so serious. I think that's the first thing. I think the first hang up that a lot of people experience is we take it too serious. It's really, the game is a game at the end of the day, right? And what are games? I was actually reading this in a book the other day, and it was talking about the metaphors that we use for life, right? And how powerful metaphors are. So Zelly used the word game when it comes to getting ahead, right? But some people use the metaphor for life as like a test, like, oh, life is a test, or life is war, or life is, fill in the blank here, right? But I think viewing life as a game is one of the most powerful metaphors, depending on which game you play, because it implies all these certain things after that. And one of those certain things is that it's fun. Games are fun, right? And games are not too serious. Like, yes, there's winners and losers, and that's why we compete. That's why we get after it. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that you enjoy. So I think, one thing that we could do to not, make things harder than they are is to not take it so serious. Really take a self back and be like, man, how can I just have fun with this? How can I just have fun with the process? And once you start to look for ways to have fun, now it becomes easier. So practically, how does this set up? Let's say we want to, improve our fitness, improve our health situation going into 2025, right? So one way we could look at it is like, okay, I have to go to the gym 7 days a week, and I have to work out 2 hours a day, and I have to really push my body till I'm sore, I'm exhausted, I don't feel like doing shit no more, right? Or another way we can look at it is like, okay, what is the sport? What is the one thing I like to do when it comes to moving my body? Well, me personally, I like to hoop. I like to hoop, and I like martial arts. Always have, and those are kind of always what I'm interested in. First video game I ever bought when I had my first game system was the UFC 2009. I don't know if y'all remember that. The UFC 2009 was, one of the ones, right? So I enjoy those type of sports. So what do I do outside of the gym? I've grown to enjoy the gym, but more so, I like to hoop and I like to train martial arts. So I try both of those things in order to improve my health situation. Those are fun for me. Those are easy for me. So one of the easiest ways to stay afloat, stay ahead of the game is to choose things that's fun, choose things that's easy. And that's why I'm a big proponent for choosing things that you're passionate about and knowing yourself. There's so many different ways. We're talking about money. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about magic. There's so many different ways to make money out here. There's so many different vehicles. But if it's not something that you enjoy, if it's not something that you can see yourself putting in 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day to learn about, study, be obsessed about, and be curious about, then it's going to be tough to actually make money in it. Right. So it's really a two-part thing, like knowing yourself and not taking yourself so serious, I think. But that's a great question. Any more questions? YouTube, we got any questions? C Dash, I just see you join. What's up, bro? We talking about money, we talking about mindset, we talking about magic. And the reason why I put magic in the title, why do we put magic in the title? Because I believe that the process of us accomplishing our goals, like when we set a vision, when we set a goal, when we set an outcome that we want, and then we go out there and figure out how to make it happen, basically what we're doing is magic. Because like, where did that idea come from? Right? Like, think about it. Like, where did those ideas come from to make the iPhone? Where did the idea come from to create the game of basketball? Where did the idea come from to create a AI? Where did the idea come from to create a game system? Right? Like, where did the idea come from? It came from who knows where. Like, it came from out here in the world. Like, and it just popped in our head as an idea. And then what we do is we take those ideas, we write them down on paper as a goal. We write a plan on how to achieve the goal, and we start to knock off those different steps to get towards the goal. So that's basically like magic. I mean, we taking something that's not physical, we taking something that's spiritual, we taking something that's mental, we taking something that's an idea from God, super conscious mind, right? Crazy out of the ether, imagination, perfect words, Ellie. And then we're turning into reality. So, to take something that's unseen and to make it seen, I believe that's a very spiritual and magical process. And when we look at it like that, I also think it becomes more fun, but it also makes us feel more empowered. More empowered. And that's one of my biggest goals with the content, with the message, with the push is to help people feel empowered. That's the message with Guaranteed to Prosper as well. It's like understanding that you are guaranteed to prosper. It's a mindset, but it's a mindset that you have power. Because you wouldn't believe that you're guaranteed to do something you want special or guaranteed to do something that's great if you didn't believe that you were great. If you didn't believe that you had it in you inherently to go accomplish a big goal, a big task, a big vision, you wouldn't do it. Right. So the key is to empower ourselves. And one of the ways that we can empower ourselves is understand how ourselves work. Like, we are magical beings. Like, imagination. Like, what is that? Imagination. Like just think about how God created the world. Like, he was just like, let there be light. He was just like, it's all dark. It was just like light, nigga, like, earth, water, things. Whoa, crazy. Like, and just stuff just started popping up. And those are just ideas he thought of and just like created. And then he said, we're made in his image and we can do the same thing. And we see evidence of that everywhere through inventions, through products and services and businesses and pop up. All these things are just ideas. So the question I have for you guys watching is, what ideas have you been sleeping on? What ideas have you let come and pass? What ideas have popped in your brain as something that could possibly, improve the quality of your life, but we didn't take action on because maybe we didn't think it was that possible? We didn't think we were that special. But I'm here to say that we are that special because everybody has the ability to imagine. Everybody has the ability to think. Everybody has the ability to dream. Everybody has the ability to plan. Everybody has the ability to take baby steps. Like nobody's saying that you gotta, freaking build a giant, statue or a huge wall in one day. But what we do have to accomplish is laying bricks every day. Is to move towards it every day. And don't sleep on yourself. Like we're all so special. We're all so unique. We're all so capable. It's like when we sleep on ourselves, we're sleeping on God. And God created us for something special, I believe. Do you believe that about yourself? And if you do, start to value your ideas. Everything starts with an idea. The money, the mindset, the magic. It starts with the idea that you have it in you, that you don't need nothing else outside of you. Right? So how do we turn this into reality? How do we turn this into practical actions that we can start to take every day? Well, it starts to, one, get the energy up. There's a lot of when your prosperity is guaranteed, the journey is everything. Let's go. Let's go. That's right, Zelly. You already know that. All right, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. So, how do we start to take action? How do we start to move things forward? Well, I believe it starts with the belief in yourself. I believe it starts with faith, right? And faith, in my opinion, is confidence and gratitude. So my mom asked a question earlier on what's the most important thing to do before we start the day. And I said gratitude, aka prayer, aka being thankful for the blessings that we have. What this does is it makes us happy for the things that happened in our past. Because sometimes it's the past what holds us up. We have negative experiences in the past. We have failures in the past. We have things that happen in the past that stop us from doing things in the future because we think the past is what our future is going to lead to. And this is how people get in cycles and patterns, and the rest of life is all the same. But what I'm here to say is that a past does not equal the future. Your past does not equal the future. Your past does not equal the future. Write that down. Say it to yourself right now. Like my past does not equal the future. Things that have happened in the past doesn't have to be what my future looks like. I have the ability to change right now. And we know this to be true. Like imagine, God forbid, you were in a car accident, right? You were driving, you were with friends, or were, intoxicated, you got hit by a drunk driver, something happened, right? I like for me, I had my car totaled at 16 by a drunk driver pulled out in front of me. I was driving through one of the neighborhoods back in my city, and drunk driver pulled out, smashed, T-bone, totaled my car. Lo and behold, I wasn't going that fast, so by God's grace, nothing happened. But this is what really created an experience of, you could call it trauma, you could call it PTSD, but something to where I'm really alert when I'm driving now. So what happened in that moment? I hit the car, something traumatic happened, and then I changed in the moment. So now my behavior going forward is different. But the thing is, we can create these emotional experiences for ourselves. We don't have to allow life to give them to us. Most of the times we have to allow life to give us a painful experience of a car crash. We have to allow life to give us a painful experience of a death in the family. We have to allow life to give us a painful experience of a breakup, a painful experience of losing your job. We have to allow life to give us this painful experience to get permission to change, to get permission to break the pattern of the past and change to the future. We usually have to get permission for that. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to take it, as something that you have to do. I'm just saying from what I've observed is that change doesn't have to happen on life's terms. Change can happen on your terms. Once you decide that you're more capable than you've been giving yourself credit for, right? Once you stop sleeping on yourself, you basically give yourself permission to change, because the patterns that you've been living up to now, if you're tapped into the live, if you're thinking about, man, I'm not driving what I want to drive, I'm not living where I want to live, I'm not making the money I want to make, I'm not having the lifestyle I want to have, I don't have the freedom I want, I don't have the impact I want. If you're unsatisfied, that's a normal process of growth. That's a normal process of the human spirit to evolve, right? But it's not okay to be unsatisfied and then not believe that we can change the circumstance. So we must first believe that we can change, and it doesn't have to come from an external experience. It could come from an internal decision that we make to say, hey, I'm not living up to my full potential. I've been sleeping on myself too long. My ideas are too valuable to keep on the back burner. Too many people need my help. right? So that I think that's another shift we can make. Is a lot of times we defeat ourselves, we self-sabotage, we hold ourselves back when we're thinking too much about ourselves. Like if I was only thinking about myself tonight, if I was only thinking about what I wanted to do tonight, I wouldn't have hopped on live. I wouldn't have hopped on YouTube live. I wouldn't have hopped on Instagram live. I wouldn't have hopped on here with 5 people, right? Like I wouldn't have did that because I wouldn't have valued the experience of hopping on here for 5 people. But what I have to do before I hop on here is I shift my mindset to say, what if there's one person that needs to hear a message tonight? What if there's one person that has been sleeping on themselves that could get some inspiration from the message that we given, that could go take action and really change some things in their life and their family's life? What if it's just one person? What if there's just, one moment that could change everything for somebody listening right now? Right. And that's what's giving me the purpose and the motivation and the magic and the mindset to come up here and talk. Right. So who are you called to help? Who needs your help in the world? What problems are you called to solve? Where do you see things wrong in the world that you could go and impact with your presence, because you're great, because you're talented, because you are special, because you have an imagination, because you're here for a unique purpose and unique mission that only is on your heart, that God gave you personally to go fulfill? Who is that person that you're called to help? So the moment you start shifting from a selfish, oh, woe is me, everything's for me, this person did me wrong, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's all about me, and you shift it to we, and you shift it to you, and you shift it to how can I serve, everything changes. And you naturally start to feel better as a result. It's a trickle down effect back to you. It's not like you just serve everybody and you empty yourself, because the only way you can serve others is when you fill yourself up. So the moment you shift to I want to serve others, your brain is immediately going to look for new solutions and new resources on how you could fill yourself up to be able to serve other people. Right? Because you're not going to be able to serve other people with a victim mindset, with a self-defeating mindset, with a self-sabotage mindset, with a victim mindset, with a sleeping on yourself mindset. You're not going to be able to serve nobody else with that mindset. So the moment you make the decision to say, man, this life is not for me, it's for others. This life is not for me, it's for God. This life is not for me, it's for my purpose. The moment you do that, now the process of you being able to actually make some changes happens. Right? So Asia said, you were literally speaking to me. I appreciate it. Asia. And it's really you speaking to yourself. Like, these are things that you've already told yourself. Only thing I'm doing is bringing them to the light. These are things that you've already known about yourself, because I believe that we all have the same spirit. And that might sound a little, depending on who's tapping in right now, that might seem a little woo-woo, like what are we talking about? But I believe we're all the same human spirit. We're all the same Holy Spirit. We're all the same God-given spirit in a body, right? So we all have the similar ideas. We all have similar consciousness. We all have similar thoughts. But all it takes sometimes is somebody for it to speak it out in a clear, direct way to get you to make that click and transformation in your brain to say, man, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I never put it like that, and it never connected the dots like that. And then boom, that could create the breakthrough. That could create the shift. That could create a new decision. But it's all up to you, right? Like I could talk to them blue in the face, but at the end of the day, it's all gonna be up to you. It's all gonna be up to you. And the biggest thing that stops people is fear. So my question I have for you that you should write down right now is like, what am I afraid of? Like, what are you really afraid of? Like, what are you really afraid of? Like, what are we really afraid of? Like, write it down. Like, are you afraid of the judgment? Are you afraid of the rejection? Are you afraid of not being accepted? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of success? A lot of people get afraid of success. Like, oh, when I may be successful, then I'm going to lose the people that I came up with. Or I'm going to lose the people that I was cool with in a previous, part of my life. Or I'm afraid of failure. Once I fail, then everybody's going to ridicule me and they're going to say that they're right about me. But what are you afraid of? And it's not to say that once you're aware of what you're afraid of, you're just going to be able to snap your fingers and overcome it overnight. But what it is going to do is it's going to peel the veil off. Because one of the worst things we could do when we're afraid of something is not look at it. And that's what a lot of us do. We want to not look at what we're afraid of because we have this perception of it that's so big, that's so scary. I think it said that, the monster, the monster in the closet, I don't know, something basically like, the monster that is unseen is always scarier than the monster that's right in front of your face. Like the one that's hiding in the closet that you don't even know what it look like, and you kind of just creating all this perception in your head is the one that's the scariest. And the reason it's doing that is because it's your imagination that's creating the fear. That's how powerful your imagination is. Reality is never that scary. Like once you're confronted with something, it's never that scary. It's always the perception of what's going to happen in the future. Like when we perceive failure, we don't think about the moment of getting a failing and like, oh, that's so bad. But we think about what happens after the failure and the repercussions, and we make them so big in our brain and so perceived so big and so bright and so lucid in our mind, so clear in our mind that we literally use our magic, we use our imagination, we use our power to disempower us. How does that work? Right? Like we use our power of imagination, we use our power of our brain, we use our power of what we can literally our ideas to disempower us by thinking of the worst case scenario bigger than it actually is. Like, is it ever really that big? What's up, Robert? So people see you moving in a better direction, they can't deal with your Jew way you move. With your new way you move. Some people see you moving right, can't deal with your right. That happens too. Some people see you moving direction, they can't deal with it. But the question is like, what do we interpret that experience as? When somebody rejects you for moving a different way and trying to improve your life, do we interpret that as I'm doing something wrong for trying to improve my life because this person's judging me? Or do I say that I'm trying to improve my life and this person's not agreeing with it, therefore this person's not my friend? Because anybody that's my friend, anybody that wants me to be successful, anybody that wants me to experience a higher quality of life, they're going to be happy that I'm taking the right steps. They're going to be happy that I'm changing. They're going to be happy that I'm improving, right? So if they're not really my friend. And if they're not really my friend, that's okay, right? There's no resentment. There's no evil will to this person, but it's just a new level of awareness I have. It's just a new level of a truth I have. And I must not be scared to face that truth. And with that truth, what do I want to do with it? Right? I could fully cut this person off if I'm not even, depends on how close you are and how much that relationship impacts you. Right? I might fully cut that person off and say it's not healthy because I have to show up for me first. Or I may have sympathy for that person. I may want to help that person. I may want to reach out to that person even more to let them know that, hey, you even have it in you to go do what you want to do. Because anybody that's above you, anybody that's doing better than you, anybody that's making more money than you, they never gonna talk shit about you. They never gonna talk down on you. They never gonna even like comment on your post. Like they never going to acknowledge somebody doing worse. Like, this is not what they do. Right? To get to that next level, you're constantly seeking new people, higher level of relationships and networking. So why would I spend my time negatively talking down on somebody else unless I'm in that negative state myself? It says in the Bible, you would judge them by their fruits. And what I believe those fruits of the spirit to be based on, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control is those are emotions. So we'll judge them by their emotions. If someone's angry, fearful, and shameful, and that's the emotions that they're giving off, I can assume that they're probably a negative person. I can assume that they're probably usually negative, angry, and fearful. Right? If that's the emotions that they're giving off, I can know them by their fruits. It's not hard to tell. So if that's the emotion that they're giving off, and that means that they're in a negative state, I have sympathy for that because I remember when I was at a negative state. I remember when I was angry. I remember when I was fearful. I remember when I was shameful. I remember when I felt guilt. I remember being here, and I remember what it was. And all it was not enough belief in myself to go do what I have to do to get what I truly want. Right? So, Asia, my notifications, you are on. I'm tapping in every time. So proud of you in this man. Keep doing great things. Thank you, Asia. Keep up the great work yourself. Perfectly said. I appreciate you, Robert. So I'll probably stay on here maybe another like 2-3 minutes, and I'm gonna go do some cardio for the night. But again, I just wanted to hop on here just to maybe empower some of your own ideas. Again, I go back to that question. It's like, what ideas have you been sleeping on? What ideas have you been sleeping on, and what can we do right now in order to start to make some momentum towards them? So exercise that I would encourage you guys to do is write down what's my number one goal for the next 12 months. Like what's my number what do I really want to happen? Do I want a new relationship? Do I want to make a certain amount of money? Do I want to double my income? Do I want to be able to quit my 9 to 5? Do I want to be able to go full time with a certain skill I've been working on? Do I want to improve my health and fitness? Do I want to travel? Do I want to take a trip? Like what's the number one goal for the next 12 months? And the way to figure out your number one goal is to write down like your top 10 and then to say which goal on this list makes every other goal easier or unnecessary. So if you got a health goal, you got a financial goal, you got a travel goal, you got a body goal, you got all these goals. What makes all those goals easier and unnecessary? Maybe if you get your habits in place and in shape, then it'll make every other goal easier or unnecessary. Maybe if you get a relationship, you'll be more aligned and you'll be having this area of life covered and, makes every easier. Like, I don't know where you are in your life, but I encourage you to write down what that goal is for you, right? Circle that goal at the top of the paper. And this is the new focus. And then under the goal, write down every single step that you need to do to accomplish the goal. And it can be small. It can be like 5 steps. You might not know how you fully get there, but I know I need to research a business, start reaching out to it, like whatever it is for you, right? And we have AI now. So use ChatGPT if you need help to say, hey, this is my goal. What are the top 10 steps I should do first in order to accomplish this goal in the next 12 months? And AI will give that to you, right? And then the next part is be real with yourself, which is, okay, I have my goal, I have my plan. What fears have held me back from already accomplishing this goal? Or even a better question is, why haven't I accomplished my goal already? Why am I not already there? What's holding me back? And just be real with yourself. Like nobody has to see it. Nobody has to read it. You don't have to post it, but just for yourself, just for you to be aware of. And then maybe when you write it down, you'll see how silly it is. Maybe you'll take the image of how big and, oh, if I do this, then people are going to judge me. They're going to talk about me. If they talk about me, I'm going to lose all my friends. And if I lose all my friends, I'm going to be alone. And if I'm alone, then I'm going to be sad. And if I'm sad and I get too sad, I'm going to get depressed. And if I get too sad and I get too depressed, I'm going to get suicidal. If I get too suicidal, I'm going to kill myself and I'm going to die. Like, instead of making it that huge, like, this big deal, let's take the first principle that we talked about when we hopped on here and say, this is make it a little less serious, right? It's not that big of a deal. And just observe the fears and say, is this really serving me? Like, do I really want to have this mindset? And then just take the first step. All goals have to be preceded with action or they won't happen. Everything's going to stay the same. This whole talk will be for nothing. The 5 people that tuned in and watched the whole time, I appreciate you, but this will be for nothing if we don't take some action after this. Action is what actually changes results, right? But we have to get out of our own way by minimizing the fears, focusing on what we want, and believing in our own power of imagination to create any ideas into this reality, using our magic, using our God-given ability to go do something for others and be purposeful in the process. Not with fear, but people, sometimes you can't take people with you. That's something that was meant for you. Right. And sometimes people should be paying you. Maybe you're just a good friend. Maybe you're just a good confidant. Maybe you're just a good, person therapist, good person to listen to. Charge money for that. That may be a gift of yours. Don't allow people to just call you and drain your energy just for no reason. Because, oh, I'm a friend. This is what a good friend supposed to do. Like, no, hey, I notice you're in a negative state often. I'm not really keen to wanting to continue this relationship with you because it's kind of pulling me down. However, I'm starting this new business and we help people break through these milestones. And, I give you accountability, like however you want to phrase it, right? Maybe this is something you're called to, right? And I can help you through that, but it's going to cost. You don't want to pay? That's fine. But, you don't even have to tell them that not continue with the relationship. Just don't text back as much. Don't call back as much, right? Just slowly remove yourself from the environment, right? And when you slowly move yourself from the environment, you naturally increase your own self-worth. Because the version of yourself that has everything that you want, the version of yourself that's successful, winning, in love, on purpose, aligned, clear, all those things, that person doesn't put themselves in negative environments because they value themselves too much. They value their spirit too much. They value their life. They value their emotions. They value the quality of their life and emotions too much to put themselves in negative situations. So in order to get to that version of ourselves, we have to do that now. We have to remove ourselves from the negative environments now. We have to get the negative habits out of our life now. Negative conversations, negative media, all these things. We have to get that out now, release all that, let go. And now we have a higher sense of value. And this higher sense of value, this higher emotional state, you start to feel better. And when you feel better, you're going to naturally take better actions. It's very hard to do the right thing when we don't feel the right way. But as soon as we start feeling the right way naturally by removing negativity, it becomes easier to do the right thing, and you become a lot more clear in the process, and naturally the fears start to go away because you're not followed by so much fear in your environment. So what do? Do you just have no friends? Do you just be lonely? No, you switch the fear environment, you switch the negative environment for a positive environment and an empowering environment and a courage environment. People that are brave, people that are taking risks, taking chances, doing the things that they want to do in life, going for it, saying, let's do it. The people that encourage that type of mentality, we're talking about mindset here, the people that encourage that type of mentality, that people encourage the type of mindset to just say, hey, go for it anyway, do it scared, do it when you don't feel like it. Those people are the people that you want to surround yourself with. Because that, like I said, that negative environment, if we don't replace it, we're going to go back to the bad habits. Right? It says in the Bible that a dog goes back to his vomit, or as a man goes back to his sin, it's like a dog going back to his vomit. Right? So we go back to our vomit, our negative environments, when we don't replace it with something positive. Right? We're gonna get Elijah in here. We're gonna get Elijah in here. Talk that talk. Great advice for 2025. Positive people around me. 100%, Robert. 100%. My guy, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
I'm great, bro. How you feeling?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Hey, listen, bro. I just want to hop in real quick, man, and tell you that your testimony is amazing, bro. Your testimony is amazing. I think, like, on the financial side, it's definitely something that's very powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember you, man. I know we did a collab back in like 4 or 5 years ago, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, to see the transformation, bro, bro, like, kudos to you. That's all glory to God, but I know it was God, I know it was prayer, and I know it was hard work.
Right, 100%, bro. I appreciate you, man. God is good. God is good, bro.
Yes,
Yeah, bro. I've been seeing you. You've been crushing it as well. So, yeah, bro. It's crazy, yeah. Because I remember, I think I first got introduced to your work. Like, you helped me on my journey. Like when I was going through the the addiction and all the negativity, the trials, and I remember finding you on YouTube, I believe, and then yeah, we got connected, we did a collab, and yeah, things have just been constantly progressing. Like I said, man, God has just been good, and he'll continue to do that. I think we both are serving a big purpose, for a lot of the stuff that we need. So yeah, man, how's everything been on your end though? Everything been good?
Yeah, everything's going pretty good, man. We are, humbly speaking, bro, we're about to hit 6 years of Steam Retention, bro.
Sheesh.
6 years in January, bro. So yeah, we can celebrate that. We're gonna go after that.
Big strength. That's strength.
That's a song, man.
That's strength. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, bro. And actually, I got connected with, I think, Noah.
Okay.
Yeah, got connected with Noah recently. So
that's dope. Are you guys doing like a coaching thing?
He was inside of my program.
Okay.
Yeah, he was crushing it, man. He's doing pretty good. And yeah, man, dude. Now listen, bro. And I wanted to ask you this one question, bro, real quick, man, because I know you're a man of God too. I know you're a man of God. So I know you know how important like the Bible verse and stuff like that. But you talk about mindset a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So although again, Steam Retention is great. That's a different story. But my business, I want to get down to a point where I'm able to scale that up. I want to hit a certain point where I'm able to scale that up.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I was thinking about getting vision boards,
Mm-hmm.
getting a vision board. I was thinking about writing down what I truly want.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the Christian community, people were saying, "Oh yeah, that's demonic and stuff like that. That's like demonic." But then it's like, if this is in the will of God, like for me to have a new home, for me to have a new car, for me to succeed in my business,
right?
Because I don't think God wants me to be honestly, I don't think God wants me to be stuck at it. It's like at this point where, you know what I mean? I think
Right.
God wants me to help out many people and be prosperous and stuff.
100%.
How do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about vision boards? How do you feel about not really manifestation, but like visualizing, seeing yourself at that point? What's your take on that?
Yeah, bro. I'm smiling because I think it's a great question, and it's very important, especially for believers, because I think it's what sometimes can hold a lot of us back from pursuing things that could actually help us. Is some of the beliefs around that type of work. So yeah, I think one, God created humans, and one of the greatest tools and resources that we have that He's given us is our brain. And there's certain ways that our brain works and makes decisions, and ultimately we have control over how we make decisions based on a few things that we consciously do through our will. So through our free will, we have the conscious use of our brain, right? And that impacts how we make decisions. So our brain is, we make decisions, and our behavior is 90% subconscious or unconscious, and 10% actually conscious of things that we think about. So it's a fact that our subconscious patterns create our habits, and our habits create our results in our life. So understanding how to reprogram some of the subconscious patterns that keep us stuck, that keep us limited, that keep us going against the same brick walls, I think it's not only natural, right? Like I think the process of learning is natural. Like, you look at a baby, they go into a certain environment, they naturally pick up on whatever's in the environment and begin to mold their life. But I also think it's what we're supposed to, I think it's part of our purpose as believers to, talks about in Romans, to renew our mind, and renew our mind daily, and do not be conformed to this world, but be renewed through the transforming of mind daily. So how do we actually do that is what I'm obsessed about. And I think there's tools like visualization, like these different things that can help us reprogram some of those beliefs and patterns. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But yeah, how do you feel about, I guess, the entire space? Like, do you still kind of come against a wall with some of that stuff, or how do you feel about it now?
So I think what it is, man, is that I feel like, okay, so how I feel like it is that like in the Christian community, I feel like it's gotten to a point where we see money as evil. We see money as evil. Like people say, oh yeah, you're not supposed to be rich, you're not supposed to be wealthy. There's maybe just over 2,000 Bible verses discussing money.
Right.
2,000, not 50, not 10, dude, 2,000.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then like I see the problem is it's two different paradigms. A man who is making not even pay his bills compared to a man who's able to be richly supplied.
Right.
I think it's about what you do with the money. You can if you put it in the right hands, a lot of money gets the right hand. You can do such a good with that. If you put it to a guy who's not saved, and he may go out to the club, he may go out to Senate strippers, all this stuff. So I think how you see it, but I think like my mindset is still like renewing the mind. I don't think it's good. Like people think that humbling yourself onto the world is humbling yourself onto God, humbling yourself to not, I'm broke, I'm poor, I don't have to, I'm just depending on God.
Right.
Depending on God and everything.
Right.
You still actively work.
Right.
It's like, you go to I'm pretty sure you go to a church, there's always an obese woman, obese, like Sister Patterson.
Right.
She's she's known for being obese, she got diabetes, but it's like, oh well, it's the devil. The devil really trying to? No, she's been eating Wendy's for the past 20 years every week. So it's faith that work is dead. So I think, and I'm no one to say anything about money, because I know I can achieve a lot great with money, but I'm not there yet. But I am striving to be there. I know for sure, man. Like you talk about mindset, you are also linked to God too.
Mhm.
That faith that work is that.
Mhm.
You got your physique, because again, your physique, man, you got that aesthetic physique and stuff. So
Appreciate you, bro.
it was through the work
Mhm.
that you put in. I know it's through work. You can't just pray a prayer and not, and you have to actively go out and work on that. It's the same thing with the mind, I think.
Yeah. 100%. So how do you think people can start to change that? Like, how does Shirley at the church, who's been obese, kind of going through these patterns, going through these cycles, like how does she begin to change, do you think?
So bro, I feel like it's more so about so for instance, bro, okay, like this. So 67% of Christians watch pornography. 67%, bro, that's a lot.
That's wild.
Right now, bro, okay, I'm about to hit 6 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just, glory to God. In my 20s, bro, faith at work is dead. The prayers help, submitting my life to God has helped, reading the word has helped. And also, you have to meet God halfway where you have to work as well. I don't know what it's like to take a hot shower I don't know what that's like. You know what I mean? I started my journey when I was 19. I'm now 25 now. So I entered in my 20s going into war mode.
Right.
Right now, I don't know what it's like sleeping on the bed. I sleep on the floor every day.
Yes.
I've been sleeping on the floor since in my 20s every day. I take cold showers every day. I may have missed 5 days after 5.9 years.
Mm-hmm.
But actively working on yourself consistently.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people say, it's all about taking authority, man.
Mm-hmm.
People think that, I got to deny myself unto Christ. I don't need to be this big bodybuilder and everything. I'm humble where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but nobody says anything when she's struggling with cancer, she's struggling with diabetes, and she's obese. Nobody says anything wrong with that, but people say something wrong when a guy is actually having the muscles. He's physically fit. He's actually being healthy. A lot of people say something about that. So that's where I think it's at, man.
Yeah. Right. Because I think a lot of people misconstrue the message, right? It's like when we think about the message that Jesus talked about, it was that the kingdom is at hand now.
Yeah.
And what that symbolizes for someone that hears that is I'm a part of that kingdom. And in this kingdom, there's a certain way of behavior. There's a certain culture in this kingdom. And in this culture, it's not good to be, it's not even good. It's not normal to be unhealthy. It's not normal to be broke. It's not normal to be lonely or feeling these negative emotions. It's not normal in this type of identity, in this type of culture that I believe in.
Yeah.
So I think when people connect the dots of what the message actually was, and it was a message of, back to Genesis, it was like, let them have dominion and be fruitful and multiply. So it's like, what is dominion? Dominion is the ability to dominate. It's power. It's the ability to act. So being in the kingdom, having the identity of someone that's a kingdom citizen is a mindset of I have power, and I have the same power that Jesus have through his spirit that lives in me now. And through that power, there's certain things that's not normal for my lifestyle anymore. And once we recognize that, hey, this is not normal, and we can separate it, because right now, obesity is normal. Being broke is normal. Being out of a relationship, all these broken families, all this stuff is normal in this culture of America. So it's like we have to completely shift the culture, but it starts with the individual switching their identity to say, hey, I'm not just a human that came from an ape and I'm just trying to survive here on earth, but I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and I'm made to do a very big purpose and live a certain way. So
real quick, man, I do have to go.
Same.
I do want to ask you this, man.
Yep.
Because I think you have, again, you're at a point in your personal life, with money wise, where I do strive to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can, man, I mean, again, I respect your time. I know I'm 52, but if maybe sometime we can do a collaboration on YouTube, on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to hit 16K on YouTube, bro. So,
fire, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
That's huge. Yeah.
We can do a collab on it. We set up a time. You talk about money, I'll talk about state retention.
Yes.
Dude, that's the way of life. Money, state retention. Obviously, God.
Yeah. 100%. 100% down, bro. Just text me DM me, and then yeah, we can set up a time to make that happen. I think, yeah, like you said, it goes hand in hand. Like energy is everything when it comes to like money, because it's a spiritual game.
I need to hear that because, bro, like, I'll tell you, we'll get on the one call, bro. Like, I'm dealing with something right now where, like, my mindset's completely resistant against money, and it shouldn't be that way because I'm already freaking myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get down to the point where money flows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's easy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we get down to. So, like, yeah, let's lock in, bro, if we can, bro. I'll hit you up later, probably midnight, like, I did on the call, but yeah, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. We could do the YouTube, and then we could do like a strategy session. That's like a quick fix, bro. It's just like
I need that strategy session, bro. I really
yeah.
do.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, bro.
God bless you. Peace out.
God bless you too, bro. Talk soon. All right. That was Elijah. Everybody go give Elijah a follow, man. He's empowering so many men's lives to, quit some of these addictions. He said 66% of men, Christian men, are addicted to pornography. And I know it's even higher for everybody else. So let's go give Elijah a follow, show him some support on his mission to help people live more empowered lives. So I'm about to hop off myself, but we got a few comments. All the time, and all the time, God is good. Amen, Alex. I don't even get into pornography. I don't know why some people do. Hey man, ain't nothing special about it. You're doing the right thing, brother. Stay on the path. And sometimes we have to go through things so God can put the right people in our lives. I've watched you grow, putting God in your life first, and this is why you're the successful young man you are today. Robert, I appreciate all your love and support always. You always giving me some positive words and energy. I'll be at Willie's holiday party tomorrow, so hopefully I'll see you there. And yeah, we'll chop it up, and we'll talk some more. But yeah, other than that, guys, it's 8 o'clock Central Time, my time. So I appreciate you all for tapping in, watching. Let's be great this week. Take some action, do some things that we need to do. Stay tuned for my next live. Turn on notifications if you haven't. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. More and more content is getting pushed out on the daily. So catch you guys all in the next one. Let's be great. Stay blessed. Peace out. Oh, YouTube. We off of here too. See you, YouTube.